Some of us, the very reason why we have so many problems and stuff like that getting going is because we are operating in somebody else's lane. And if we would get in our own lane, right, and stop trying to do what somebody else says is correct, I think we'd be much better off. But anyway, let's get to chapter 4. We're going to be on chapter 4. You are at Rhema Leadership Institute. I will be representing you down in New Orleans on Friday, January the 17th in New Orleans at the Marriott Hotel. I've been asked to attend on behalf of Rhema Leadership Institute by one of our accrediting bodies, which is the Louisiana Association of Private Colleges and Schools. So I'll be down there representing this school, and we'll see what they got in store for us and what new stuff is coming down the pipeline or whatever. That'll be Friday, January the 17th. And so just know that I'm going to represent well.
Yeah.
Amen.
Just know that. Amen. All right. So we're at Personalities of Leadership, and this is chapter 4, Valuing Others' Views. Wow. Valuing others' views. And this is something that I've been discussing and been talking about with some of my my clients and stuff during the day. Let me help you avoid having arguments with people. Right now, I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay attention because here again, it's kind of like on Sundays. I'm telling you, you miss out on this stuff. You miss out on some nuggets, and you'll find that if you were to listen, I can help you avoid some arguments and falling out with folks.
Okay, that's fine.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Valuing other people's views, right? So just because somebody has an opinion, and that opinion differs from mine, does that make the other person wrong?
No.
Wow. So a part of maturity is learning to accept what somebody else's opinion is without trying to change it.
Right.
Here's the second part of that. And without trying to prove you're right.
Right.
How many relationships and marriages have been destroyed because one person or the other has a strong need to prove they're right?
Yes.
So, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to lose a lot of friends, lose a lot of opportunities where you could be an impact or have an impact on somebody's life, especially as a leader, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to be somebody who's always got to prove you right.
Mm.
Wow.
You're going to turn people away from you.
Wow.
Nobody wants to be around somebody that's always trying to prove they're right.
That's right. That's right.
So it's not about that. So we must learn to value others' views. Being a leader does not mean having a monopoly on all the good ideas. Successful leaders actively seek and use a wide range of ideas and the different perspectives of those around them. More than one perspective. You can therefore benefit greatly from involving others to ensure you get a greater breadth of ideas or viewpoints. In other words, just because I see it one way does not mean that there are not additional viewpoints that could be of greater value than the way I see it. Right? So you always want to take into consideration different perspectives. Sounding board. Number 2, in the same way that you want to encourage others to use you as a sounding board to test out their ideas, so you should be able to use others as your sounding board, and this can only help to further develop a climate of trust. Right? Use others as your sounding board. And this can only help further develop a climate of trust.
Amen.
I always tell my wife that. I start out talking, I said, look, I'm just using you as a sounding board. So that don't mean that I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do it. It just simply means that I need to run this by somebody, right? And so I'm going to run it by you. Just tell me, you know, your inputs are, you know, or whatever, you know. That's a sounding board, you know. Yeah, I just need to hear this. I'm saying it, but I need somebody to hear this, right? You need a sounding board. Number 3. So ultimately, as a leader, you will be faced with making decisions and with determining which ideas are best taken forward. It is far better that this is done from a position of strength, having considered a wide or a range of options. Right? You'll be faced with making decisions and with determining which ideas are best taken forward. It is far better that this is done from a position of strength, having considered a wide range of options. Why from a position of strength? Because you don't want to be making a decision based on a position of weakness. Because you're not going to make the best decision. You're going to make whatever decision that you need in order to get you out of a position of weakness. And it may come from, in other words, somebody may come to you. Let's hypothetically say you're running a project. You're running a project, and your project is $5,000 short of you reaching your budget or you reaching your plan. Yeah. Now, in addition to you being short, right? You have somebody that approaches you and says that, hey, I have these funds that are available, right? $5,000 or maybe in excess, and you say, that's exactly what I need. But this person has a catch. See, there's a catch. But I'm going to need to do this, right? And what if it's something that they want to do, but it's completely against your moral standing or what you believe or what you stand for?
Wow.
But because of the position of weakness you're in, you see what type of compromising position you place you may be in?
Yeah.
Right? That's a very hard spot.
Yes, it is.
Right? You find a lot of people who are in a business who may be running short and they make compromising decisions. You see?
Yeah.
You just experience something like that. Right? So when people are making decisions from a position of weakness rather than from a position of strength, right? That's not a good place. Right? What does that say as a leader? First of all, let's take a look at it. So if you have when you begin to go under budget, or when you begin to come up short, when we're talking about money and a business or a goal, right? All businesses may go through a position of where the finances is not where you would like them to be. Those things just happen, right? Because there are different spending trends that people get in, right? In fact, my spiritual father helped me understand, especially when it comes down to ministry, right? That there are seasons, right? That every ministry will go through. He said, Pastor, some months chickens don't even lay eggs.
Wow.
So you have to know my spiritual father when he started talking like that. You got to see this the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is the kind of stuff I've been up under for the last 10 or 15 years of my life with this man. Now, most people would think he's talking foolishness when he started talking about chickens not laying eggs. But if you're in ministry, you might need to listen. And you might not think that that's a frivolous subject, especially if you're a minister or a pastor that's over a congregation and you're wondering why, you know, the offering is not what it normally is. You know, he's telling you about chickens.
Yeah.
And how you get chickens to lay eggs. And sometimes, you know, you can do all you want to do, but just certain seasons they're not going to lay. So when they are laying, you need to be prepared for seasons when they don't lay.
That's right. That's right.
Then what are those months? Then you need to look at what are those months in ministry. So it's some wisdom when you're dealing with this type of stuff. So businesses have different spending trends, right? So if you're in business, right, and people spend in trends, then what are some of the seasons that people may stop spending a little bit when it get closer to Thanksgiving, New Year's, school getting ready to start back.
Right.
See, you have to start looking at what are the trends. When will it pick up again?
Yeah.
What do I need to do with my budget during these months?
Yeah.
Right? Right? What that simply means that, right, that we need to make sure that we're always operating from a budget. I like that. What you said the other night. Right? Because people, this is what I understood. Because people who are immature in their spending, they don't budget. If you want to achieve financial success, you must budget. The proper discipline to be applied to finances is called budget.
Wow.
If you don't budget, you're impulse spending. People who impulse spend stay broke. So if you're in business, you can't afford to impulse spend because you got utilities. You may have payroll to meet. You may have supplies that need to be purchased. So you can't afford. So you have to budget. If not, your business is gonna go out of business. So that's how a business owner may find themselves in a position of weakness. Now you got to compromise. Okay. So here we go.
Wow.
Supporting behaviors. Intrapersonal awareness. People demonstrating this behavior will empathize with others and therefore be able to see things or at least appreciate things from others' viewpoints. You need to be able to empathize. That's a supporting behavior. Right? So if somebody, if you're a leader and somebody that's up underneath you who you're leading, if they've had a death in the family, right? If their children are going through some things, right? You need to be able to know when you might need to tighten the reins up, or when you might need to loosen up, when you might not need to be so demanding, right? As a leader. You know, you got to know when to apply pressure, not to apply pressure, right? As a leader, you have to be able to empathize with other people. Right? Conceptual thinking. This behavior is about being able to relate possible disconnected ideas as well as having a general breadth of thinking. You need to be able to relate. You need to be able to conceptual think. You need to understand what concepts are. Where do you get concepts from? You get concepts from precepts. A precept always comes before a concept. You develop the concept from the precept. Right? So let me give you an example of that. So God had a precept. Right? He had a precept. His precept is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So the Word is the precept. Right? So what is the concept? So what do I get from that? I'm saying, okay, so in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Then the concept of that is that God and the Word are synonymous. They are one. So I develop my concept from my precept. Right? So you need to be able to clearly distinguish in a business when you develop a business, what is the objective of this business? What is the precept? What was the original idea? So I can shorten that word precept up. That word precept is, what's the original idea? What's the original plan? Did you know that you can start a business and you can actually have the original plan and you can get 6 months down the line, and if you mess around and listen to folks, you'll be way off base somewhere, and you started out a beautician, but you ended up selling used cars.
Tell the truth.
That's because you're listening to everybody else. How you end up come on now. How did you end up going from that to this? And you wonder where you got off at? You got away from the precept, the original idea. Right? So we need to make sure We need to make sure that whatever our precept is, then we should be networking with others who are in that same line of business.
That's right.
To see what the latest trends are, the latest fashions are, the latest styles are, the latest fads are. That's why people that's in the hair industry, they're continually going to hair shows, learning new styles, learning new cuts, right? Learning about what style of hair has come out. What, you know, why? Because that's their business. That's their lane. That's what E.T. was talking about. E.T. was saying, okay, you can quarterback, but you want to be the running back, you want to be the receiver, and you're wondering why? Come on. Stay in your lane. Right? We want to make sure we learn to specialize in what we specialize in. Right? And I say this all the time. I'm in substance abuse. I don't want nothing to do with mental health.
Right.
Glory to God. Somebody having mental health issues, I need to, trust me, glory to God. I know a whole lot of people that do it. I'm going to refer you to somebody that deals with that. I am substance abuse. My area of expertise is substance abuse, drugs and alcohol. Right? That's what God delivered me from. That's the anointing that's up on me. That's what He broke in me, delivered me from. Glory to God. That's what I have an expert in. I can pick up on the behaviors, the signs, all that. I know all about it. That's my area of expertise. I'm going to stay doing what I'm an expert at doing. And when I stay in my own lane, it keeps doors being opening up, opportunities being opened up. I'm talking about all kind of stuff is going down even as we speak. Right? I get phone calls all day long. People from all out of town want to send me their kids and send me this one. And I'm going to bring this one to you. Bring them on. Glory to God. You got somewhere to put them? Yeah, I got somewhere to put them. Bring them on. Yeah. Glory to God. Amen. Who doing that? God?
Amen. Amen.
Stay in my own lane. Amen. Right? Here we go. We're at welcoming views. Asking for and welcoming others' views and ideas sends out a strong message about the type of leader you are and the relationship you want to have with those that work with you. It sends out a strong message. When you ask other people for their ideas, just because I ask, now this is where a lot of people get a lot twisted at, right? One of the things that I do, right? When I invite or when I ask someone for their viewpoint or their opinion about something that I'm thinking about doing, right? One of the things that I'm expecting is to see how they can add to, make it better, or improve what I'm bringing to them or what I'm presenting. I am not at all into someone trying to pick apart, tear down, and speak negative or dissect what I'm doing. I'm going to reject that every time.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to know what I can't do.
That's right.
If I'm bringing it to you, I already believe I can do it. I'm bringing it to you because perhaps you may see how I can do it better. How it can, you know what I mean? So give me the ups, right? Give me the ups, right? Show me how we can improve it, right? Have you ever taken an idea or a vision to someone and before you could get 10 minutes into it, they had already told you 5 reasons why you can't do that?
Mm. Wow.
That's not very encouraging, is it?
Breaks your heart.
Right.
Breaks your heart.
Right. Break your heart, take the energy out of you, sucker punch you before you even get started.
Right, pal.
Right. So you have to be very careful and pick the type of people who you think, right, can add to, not take away from. Right? Now, one of the things, I'm finna go there now.
Okay.
One of the things that Eric talked about is adding value.
Right. I like
Right?
that.
Whenever you add value to people, you will always be valuable.
Yeah.
Whenever you add value to people, you will always be valuable. Right? So in your relationships, in your social relationships, you want to begin to add value. Right? When you add value, right, you don't ever have to worry about being broke. Right? You make yourself valuable. You make yourself valuable. What is it that you do in the earth that's so valuable? What do you have, right, that's so valuable to other people that they do not want to lose you? Right? You want to begin to look at that. That's the nick there. That's the deal there. I just gave you an example of my own personal life, right? What I bring to the table. That's my asset. That's my strength. That's what I get paid to do, right? You have to begin to get to a place in your life where you begin to find your lane. You begin to find your lane. That's your strength.
Yeah.
That's your strength. That's your strength. Now, you go from knowing what your strength is to then figuring out how do I market it. In other words, Coca-Cola had a great product when they first came out with the Coke. Y'all remember the ice cold Coke in the bottle? It's in the bottle. It's ice cold. You know what I mean? You pop the top, and when you take it up, I'm talking about good. Coke had a good product, but Coke had to figure out, how do I get it to the world? How do I bottle it and get it out? How do I market it? So what is your strength? What are you good at? How do you market your strength? Right? How do you package what you got, right? And give it to the world and then get a return on it. Not that you're looking for money, but any gift should be received in honor.
That's right.
And you'll find that when you bring value to people's life through your gift, right? Through your gift, people will readily do what? Give. I just thought I'd add that in there.
Amen.
Okay? Keep people informed. Number 7. By doing this, they and others will be encouraged that their ideas are being listened to and actioned. As a result, they are more likely to provide further input in the future. So when somebody brings you good ideas, right, then you want to encourage that, and you want to market that. You want to put that out, right? I know especially here, especially with our women's ministry and everything, and I tell these women all the time, whatever it is you want to do, you bring me an idea, hey, pastor ain't got to be here, go with your move, right? Do what you do. Put it together, right? Put a conference together. Put it together. Go with it, right? Because I hear you. If that's something God is calling you to do, do it.
Amen.
Do it. I'm not one to say no. That's not, God didn't get that to me, he gave that to you.
That's right.
Right? I'm not going to do the leg work for you either.
That's
He
right.
didn't get that to me, he gave that to you. You know how it's supposed to go. God showed you the vision. He showed you the blueprint of it. So go with it.
Amen.
Right? So you want to make sure that when you actively involve other people in whatever it is that you're doing, right? And if they're bringing some good ideas to the table on how they can improve a specific vision, then you hear them. So, and if you're going to use some of their ideas, some of their visions, right? Then you do that, right? And that will help people say, well, you know what? I feel safe and secure with bringing my ideas to Jimmy, because I know Jimmy is going to hear me, and he may even actually implement some of my ideas and things that I have. Right? It helps people feel more safe and secure. You're not going to bring anything to anybody that you don't feel safe and secure in bringing it to.
That's right. That's right.
If everything you bring to somebody, they shoot down, you can rest assured you're not going to bring anything else to them, because every time you bring something to them, they shoot it down.
That's right.
You don't feel safe.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Killing off input. Here it is. A word of caution. A word of caution. Doing this will ultimately backfire and lead to a significant breakdown in what?
Trust.
Wow. So you kill input. You kill input. Right? This will ultimately backfire. And lead to a significant breakdown in trust. I just heard about not too long ago of a very prominent ministry or church here in the area that is no longer. I heard here from a very good friend of mine that the leader of that particular church had this thing about controlling people. And it's no more. Caused a big old bust up in the church and it's no more. Because what's going to happen is, my friend told me that he told this guy who was a friend, it was his friend, but this guy actually was a very intelligent young man who went to this church, right, and was a member there for years. And my friend told him, the guy would often come and tell my friend some of the stuff that was going on. And so my friend would tell him, anytime somebody trying to control you, that's manipulation, which is witchcraft.
Uh-huh.
And if somebody trying to control you and that's manipulation, which is witchcraft, then that ain't in the Bible, no way. Right? If you can't find it in the Bible, it don't supposed to be being done.
Right.
And then he started telling the brother, why don't you go to YouTube and just listen to Dr. Miles Monroe. And my friend said, after about 6 months of this guy listening to Dr. Miles Monroe, said he couldn't take it no more. So he started to confront these issues that were going on. Right? And when he started to confront these issues that were going on, other people caught on to it, began to recognize what was going on. And now, this very prominent church that was once here in this area is no more.
Wow.
Because, why? You can't kill input. You can't control people. Right? You can't do it. That's witchcraft.
It's a bad thing when one person thinks they have all the ideas.
That's correct.
All the answers.
That's correct.
Like you said.
That's correct.
Always right.
Always right. Seeking to be right. Glory to God.
His way or no way.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That's how most people are.
In most jobs, in fact.
Not
Not
jobs.
the way of the highway.
Right. That's that. Well, yeah, it's like that on most jobs. But I can kind of almost I can kind of almost see it on a job because jobs are more about processes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And what is a process? A process is that if you work on a job, let me just give you an example. If I work at Wendy's, where the way Wendy's has it, and I used to work at Wendy's when I was 15 years old, I worked there, it was my first job. Wendy's got a process, right? Yeah. On Wendy's singles, it's mayonnaise, ketchup, pickle, tomato, lettuce, then it's cheese, and then it's mustard. Then they got a certain way they make their hamburger.
Wow.
So they're not going to, they got a certain way they put it on. They put it on just like I said, mayonnaise, ketchup, pickle, onion, tomato, lettuce. Then the cheese is on there, mustard, then the sandwich. Yeah. That's a single cheese with everything. Right? Now you're not going to come to Wendy's and start putting the mustard on the bread first. It's going to be day way or the highway. They got to serve. So you can understand it. You can understand on some jobs it's processes.
Well, I should have said the management.
Yeah, well, the management, but how you treat people though, is another ballgame.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, you have to understand what managers are called to do. Managers are called to oversee processes.
And they want
leaders are called to develop people.
Right. That's what it is.
Right? So there's a difference between a manager and a leader.
Right.
Everybody that's in a management position is not a leader.
That's right. And everybody that's a leader is not a manager.
Right.
Should be a manager.
Right. Yeah. So you see it? So it's a difference.
Yeah.
Managers oversee processes. Leaders develop people.
Yes.
Okay? Here are some of the other surefire ways to kill off people's willingness to offer ideas and suggestions. Here's number 9. Hijack others' ideas and take the credit for themselves. Take the credit for themselves. So you're going to hijack somebody else's idea and say it was your idea. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Hijacking other folks' ideas.
Wow.
That's going to cause a fight in the break room. Right?
Wow.
What about this one, y'all? Ask for ideas but then dismiss them or criticize them immediately. Ask for an idea, and when somebody tells you the idea, you make a statement like, that's dumb. Why would you say that to somebody? You ask for their input. Just because you don't think it's a good idea, you don't come out and say that it's dumb. Or you don't come out and say that it's not right. Right?
Yeah.
Ask for ideas, but dismiss them or criticize them immediately. Number 11. Welcome ideas when they are given to you, but then do nothing with them or forget them to feedback progress. Or forget to feedback progress. Right?
Wow.
You welcome ideas when they are given to you,
Wow.
but then you do nothing. You don't use anybody's ideas.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Make it natural. Number 12. Encouraging people to put forth their ideas is not just about using contrived mechanisms such as suggestion boxes. These may have their place on occasions, but their benefits are often short-lived and best used when linked to a specific need or projection. In other words, you don't want to just have suggestion boxes up. People are I'll put one up and we might use it the first week, and then after that it'll be sitting there collecting dust.
513.
Yeah, 513. Non-existent. So what you want to do is, you only want to use those type of things when it's concerning a specific project.
Right.
Right? Let's hypothetically say we're going to have a specific project here or a convention or whatever, and we want to have some ideas or suggestions concerning the decoration. Then I would ask everybody to place your ideas in the suggestion box, and then a committee will come in and go over the suggestions and choose some of them, right? So for a specific project or idea, you may want to use something like a suggestion box. So suggestion boxes are short-lived, okay?
Yes, they are.
Suggestion boxes, but they are good ways to give other people an opportunity to participate in the process without being known. It's also, thank you for that, it's also, let's hypothetically say there's a grievance box. Right? So if you want to know, if you're a leader in a position and you want to know what are some of the issues of those you're in charge of, right, that they may not necessarily want to bring to you, but they feel comfortable putting it in a grievance box, you may want to put something like that up. Yeah. Without putting your name on it, you can just put it in a box, right?
Go for introverts.
Yeah, that's correct. For people who don't want to be known, right? With that type of personality. Because you do have those personality types, right, everywhere. Okay?
They don't want to feel like they snitching, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So generating ideas. So you want to start with a warm-up exercise that's fun and preferably not work-related, right? I try to use these videos that we do as a warm-up.
And that's good, too.
Right? As a warm-up. Something to kind of get you, you know what I mean? I didn't think y'all would go for it, but I could have you doing sit-ups and push-ups.
Hey, some of us need it.
So I'll stick with the videos. I stick with the videos. I figured y'all was going to say something like that. Number 14. If possible, get everyone standing up rather than just sitting in their seats or at desks. Right? Talking about one. So let's hypothetically say we were all here to start working on a project. Right? Might want to get you up, do a breathing exercise or whatever, you know what I mean, to get you going. Number 15, don't leave the scribe into one person. Let people do what? Write their own comments so that everyone feels what? More involved, and the writing process is sped up. So let's say we're developing a plan for a convention. I'm not going to have just my sister back here taking notes and doing all of the writing. I'm going to have everybody writing so that everybody feels involved in what? The process. Right? It's just good leadership. You want to involve everybody. Right?
Yeah.
If you're connected to something, or a part of a group, if you're never used or never do anything, how long is it going to be before you just don't show up anymore?
That's true.
Right?
If you don't feel
Because you don't feel like you're being used.
Yes, yeah.
How many churches have people left because they don't feel like they're being used?
No value.
Wow. You don't feel like you're being used. You don't feel like you're a part here. I don't play, what role do I play here? Right? Now likewise, in defense of some churches, you can't keep your mouth closed either. Right? And because leaders are not, one of the things we're not as leaders, we're not magicians, nor are we mind readers. Right? We don't read mind. I'm not going to get into psychics. I don't do horoscopes. I don't do any of that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't go by the sign of the times. I'm not looking out there to see what position the moon in. So you need to come over, you need to open your mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
Amen. Amen.
Number 16. Give post-its to individuals or pairs and get participants to write their ideas on these to stick on a wall or a board. So let's say we had a vision board or something. We would write all the ideas on. So Jimmy, what we're doing is we're getting ready to get rid of some of the New Orleans Saints football players. So I'm gonna give everybody some poster stickers, and we got my sister. And so we're gonna put names on who's supposed to be out of there.
Drew Brees.
Wow. Right?
Tom Brady.
Now I'm just. So I'm just giving you an idea. All right, Adrian. You never roll your eyes at that. All right. So I'm just giving you an idea. So we was working on a project and we all wanted ideas. Let's say if we were planning a big meal.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's going to be some of the dishes that we want to have? So everybody get on their posters. Well, give me some main entrees. Give me some desserts. Give me some beverages. Right? We're going to start writing it down. Then we'll narrow it down. Right?
That's right.
Letting everybody play a part. Right?
That's good. That's good.
So you wonder why? Okay. Well, why all the time? You know what I mean? Why all the time we got to have tea? Right?
Yeah.
Just give you an example. Why all the time we got to have tea? Right?
Yeah.
So what if somebody like lemonade?
Kool-Aid.
What if somebody like Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
What if somebody like, you follow what I'm saying? So you start doing what? So I say, okay, let me get an idea of some beverages, right? And so, you know, right?
That's right. That's right.
Right? Let me get an idea of some desserts, right? See?
That's right.
We always got to have fried chicken. Somebody give me some ideas. Let me ask you something. Don't y'all in church get tired of chicken?
No. Yes. I do.
You go to a program at a church and they feed, you already know you got some chicken.
Oh, yeah.
And a piece of cake.
And a piece of cake. So that's the same food committee. They keep the same menu for the last 20 years. So we need to get somebody some posters to some individuals or pairs and get participants to write their ideas. Number 17. It can sometimes help to move posters into themes so that people can start to see patterns emerging, involve others in developing the themes with you. So what if you got some themes? So we're putting together a Christmas play, right? So we're going to be talking about a Christmas play, but we're going to have some themes, right? So what about the decorations?
Yeah.
So somebody over here would be handling the theme decoration. Somebody over here would be handling the theme music. Somebody over here would be handling food. So you see, we got different themes and we got different groups working on different themes, right? And then we'll bring everything together, right, to create the whole deal.
Everybody got a lane.
Everybody got a lane. Stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane, right? So you see how you begin. So if you're a leader and you get put in charge of a big project and you're over a lot of people, so if you got 25 people, you might want to have 5 groups made up of 5, broke down into themes, and assign different groups with different projects, right? and give them a certain amount of days to bring back their ideas and present their ideas before the group. Right? You kind of following along here what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good leadership stuff. Right?
Yes, it is.
Here we go. Number 18. Keep asking for more ideas and constantly phrase the question or problem in different ways. In other words, ask the same thing, just use different words.
Yeah.
Especially as a therapist, we do it all the time. I ask you the same question, 50 different ways.
Yep. Yeah. Are you all
Right.
right? Everything
Yeah,
okay?
continue asking you the same thing. Right? Probing.
Yeah.
Trip up.
Right? Number 19. Look out for and encourage the quieter individuals, which are our introverts, the quieter individuals who may have great ideas but are just not so vocal. So you want to recognize who in your groups are not that very outgoing or outspoken. And you make sure you want to get with them and encourage them to see what they think. Because a lot of times they may have the best ideas.
Yeah.
They just don't say anything. They don't say much.
Yeah.
And most people who don't talk much, they're very observant. Right? They're very observant. They pick up on some little things.
Yeah.
Right. So it's good to make sure you recognize who those individuals are, right? And to make sure you get with them and encourage them to participate, right, in the processes.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Where am I? Okay, there you go right there. All right. And here we go. Number 20. There are often many more solutions or perspectives on the issue. I left you out. Although you may only be able to see one option, open your mind to the possibility that others may see things differently than you.
Amen.
Wow. Open your mind to the possibility that others may see things differently than you. In other words, you're not the only one that's got eyes.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So I need to give you chapter number. No, I'm not going to give it to you. That's right. No, I'm not. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to study this, which is lesson number 4. And it's going to be combined with an assignment that I'm going to talk to you about next week. Right? And when you watch the video next Tuesday night, right, you're going to have an assignment to do. All right? From this book and from chapter 4. Okay? And so you're going to do your assignment and you'll bring that assignment back with you on our next class, our next in class. Okay? Good deal?
Good deal.
Good deal? All right, so how was you guys break? Did y'all have a pretty good break?
Oh, yeah.
From class?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Now it's time to get